Justice is equity, and it knows no boundary. The litigants have genuine cause of action, and Judge Funmi Asaolu is ever ready to dispense justice, ensuring amicable settlement.
How come she's not been paying this man out of the profit she's making? Explain it to her. Because as far as I'm concerned, that's an act of wickedness. And she's trying to play smart. That's the impression I'm having.
She is fearless.
Don't you ever look at me straight in the eyes and say, wait.
She is firm.
I don't see this man as somebody that will kill you. All he wants is for you to just perform conjugal rights. I'm telling you.
She is hilarious. The dispute is real, and the judgment is binding. This is the Justice Court.
On today's episode of the Justice Court, one woman decides to put her trust in God, but another would rather choose to trust her rent. The plaintiff, Kehinde Ashenuga, is suing Mary Atobatele, the defendant, for the sum of 900,000 naira, being rent arrears owed since last year. Mary admits she and her husband owe, but wants the plaintiff to be patient. But Kehinde's patience has just about run out. Judge Funmi presides.
All rise. Court in session. Honorable Judge Funmi Asaolu presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, this case is between Ashenuga and Mary. Party sworn on oath. Party will be headed by an interpreter.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
Madam Kehinde Ashenuga.
Yes.
You are suing Mary Atobatele as defendants for the sum of 900,000 naira.
Olúwàmí ní ẹgbẹ́ Madam Mary wá sílé ẹjọ́ yìí fún ọjọ́ ní
900,000 naira.
900,000 naira. Yes. She said yes, ma'am.
Can she tell me the circumstances under which she met the defendant Mary Atobatele?
Ó ní kẹ́ ṣàlàyé fún ilé ẹjọ́ yìí bí ẹ ṣe pàdé wọn. Ó ní kẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ sókè.
Tenant mi ni wọ́n, Mr. and Mrs. Atobatele. Láti 2015 ni wọ́n ti ń gbé ní ilé wa. Wọ́n dẹ̀ máa ń sanwó.
She said she's a tenant with her husband, and they've been living in her house since 2015. Yes, ma'am.
The property belongs to you.
Ogún tí wọ́n pín fún mi ni tó kàn mí lọ́dọ̀ mọ́mì wa, ìgbà tí mọ́mì wa kú, òun ni.
She said the house happens to be her own inheritance from her mother.
Madam Mary.
Ma.
Can you explain to me what transpired? She claimed you were a good tenant until a point in time when you stopped paying rent. So actually happened.
My lord, it's just we need assistance for now. I
didn't ask you what you need. I asked you to explain to me what happened. You told me your husband was working, but his business is not going well now.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you work?
Yes.
Where do you work?
I sell soft drinks.
You sell soft drinks?
Yes.
You have children?
Yes, my lord.
How many years rent are they owing as at today?
Wọ́n ní ọdún mélòó ni wọ́n ti sanwó. Owó ọdún mélòó ló ń jẹ?
Wọ́n sanwó around last year. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ti sanwó lọ́dún.
They said 2 years. They didn't pay at all last year, and this year they've not paid.
What do you expect her to do?
We have been pleading to her.
Yeah, you've been pleading for over 1 year. Right now you are owing 900,000 naira. That's a lot of money.
Yes.
And you still want to keep pleading. For how long? Infinity, 10 years, 5 years time, you keep pleading with her?
No, my lord.
You are working?
Yes.
Kehinde wants her rent, but Mary wants her to have mercy. Kehinde would rather have her money instead. Mary believes God will provide the 900,000 naira rent, but Kehinde isn't so convinced, and neither is Judge Funmi.
You think you are here to joke? You know the property is our own inheritance.
Yes.
You know.
Yes, my lord.
She's not even living there. It's because she wants to make money. That's why she decided to let it out. Were you looking forward to having a tenant that will not pay your rent? So I want you to respond. How come you've not paid? You're working. You could have been paying by installment at least. So what do you want to do?
We want to pay her and then we move our thing out.
So when do you want to pay her and when do you want to move out? Because that's why you are here. You just addressed it. She wants her money. I'm going to pay her. I want them out of the premises. We are going to move out. That's halfway. Now tell me, when do you want to pay? When do you want to move out? And the matter is all over. Everything will be settled.
We will pay next month. Next coming month, then we will move our thing out.
You will pay 900,000 naira next month. Consider it very, very well. Because you are in a courtroom, be sure of what all your utterances. You are sure you are going to get 900,000 naira next month?
I'm working towards it, my lord.
900,000 naira that you've not been able to pay for over 1.5 years. And suddenly it will appear within a month. So where are you expecting the money from?
I know God is in control.
God is in control. God is in control. God is in control.
Yes,
and that makes sense to you. You think you are here to joke? You think you are acting a drama?
No, my lord. I put everything onto God's hand.
I don't know why we all fool ourselves. That is not real. And you know yourself. As far as I'm concerned, you are only deceiving yourself. You are not deceiving any other person here. So you better speak out. Tell me, if you're going to pay by installments, let me know. If you are sure that you pay the 900,000 next month, you can repeat it. Because if you don't pay, there will be a repercussion. So don't think you can just come in here and say anything and walk away. You'll be bound by your words. Do you understand?
Yes, my lord.
So I ask you once again, how do you intend to pay 900,000 naira next month? Where will you get the money?
I didn't have the money.
Because God won't come down and drop money on your laps.
Yes, my lord.
I'm sure you've been waiting of God on this issue for the past 1.5 years.
Yes, my lord.
So you could still be sleeping in the poor woman's house for the next 1.5 years. I will still be coming up with, I'm waiting on God.
I will be paying it in installments.
So how much? When do you want to start?
As from next month.
Next month. Oh, you must be expecting some money next month. So you heard that. Next month. So how much are you going to pay? On monthly basis from next month, how much should she be expecting from you? On monthly basis.
I will pay half of the money.
Do you really understand what you are saying?
Yes, my lord.
You pay 450,000 naira next month. Right?
Yes.
Then when we pay the balance?
Kehinde wants Mary to pay up the rent arrears she owes since last year. Mary admits she owes and is pleading for more time. But time doesn't pay the bills, and Kehinde doesn't have that luxury anymore.
How much are you earning?
I'm not a salary earner.
What kind of business do you do?
I sell soft drink, mineral.
About how much do you make in a month?
At times in a day, I just say like 5,000.
As profit. Is that okay by you?
No.
To pay 450,000 naira next month. That's why you have these justice courts. You get your justice. You get your money. Do you accept that she pays 450,000 naira next month first?
Oh. So
you want the money now?
Yes, me sure we go. School mommy. Only one school and Ilorin Poly. Me ti so, me gba o.
Have you heard that?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm listening. What do you want to do now?
I want you to help me to beg her.
Beg? She's tired. You think she has not tried?
I know she has tried, Philip.
How many landlords will wait till this time before ejecting you from the property? And at the same time, they will still collect their arrears of rent. In your own parts, I only have one more question to ask you.
After the break, Judge Funmi decides.
I believe you know there is a procedure for ejecting tenants from the house. And in this case, let me explain that to her.
Olúwàmí ní ìṣàlàyé fún yín pé ní ìlú Èkó tí a wà yìí, ó ní gbogbo ọ̀nà tó tọ́ tí ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ tẹ̀lé tẹ́ bá fẹ́ léyàn kúrò nínú ilé yín.
If you want to eject her now, all you need to do is just give us notice.
So nísìn, irú tenant tó jẹ́ fún yín sìn jẹ́ tenant pé ẹ̀yin lẹ kàn gbà wọ́n láyè kó máa gbé lẹ́yìn. So tẹ́ bá fẹ́ lé wọn jáde, tẹ́ bá kàn fún wọn ní ìwé.
And that does not stop you from collecting money for the period they've spent in the house.
Àníyàn dẹ̀ ní pé kẹ́ má gba owó èyí tó ti lò sẹ́yìn.
And as for you, Madam Mary, discuss with your husband. You have to pay her money.
Continuing today on the Justice Court, a mechanic with a newly pimped out life and the angry customer whose ride made it all possible. Jean is suing Peter for the sum of 660,000 naira, being money handed over to his friend to repair and refurbish his car. Peter duly agrees he did receive money, but says he had to use it to resolve pressing personal issues after his client's travel.
All rise. Court in session. Honorable Judge Funmi Asaolu presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, this case is between Jean and Peter, parties sworn on oath.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
Mr. James Francis Ifeanyi.
Yes, my honor.
You are the plaintiff here.
Yes.
You are suing Peter Augustine Odion.
Yes, my honor.
For refund of money collected from you.
Yes, my honor.
Mr. Jean.
Yes, my honor.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a businessman.
What kind of business are you into?
Yeah, I import goods from...
What kind of goods?
Fairly used goods.
Okay.
I import from Europe.
How did you meet the defendant?
He's a family friend, an engineer to my father.
How long have you known the family?
Like eight years.
Tell me what happened.
On the 1st of June, 2018, a friend of mine called me that he has a car, a used Mitsubishi Jeep for sale, but it's not in a good shape. So I decided, okay, I consulted my father, and my father said, okay, get my engineer to go and look at the car.
Your dad recommended him?
Yes, of course. So, though he fixes my car,
Okay.
So I called him. On getting to the spot of the place, he sighted the vehicle and he told me what I should do in the vehicle. I asked him, okay, should I go ahead and purchase the car? He said, yes. I said, okay, I want you to take the value of the car and tell me what it's going to cost me to fix the car up. So at the end of the day, we rounded up. He said it's going to take me 700,000 naira. And I said, I'm not going to pay that. It's expensive. So at the end of the day, we came to a compromise that I should pay him 660,000 naira. And I gave him cash to fix the car and pimp the ride. So then I left.
Did you give him the money?
I gave him that same day. I gave him the money.
Which date? When was that?
1st of June last year.
1st of June.
2018.
How much did you give him?
I gave him 660,000 naira.
Okay.
So on getting back, I
traveled?
I traveled.
How long were you away?
I traveled and I came back around November.
So you were not in Nigeria?
Yes, I was.
You left your car with him for 3 months?
No, he didn't even go to pick the car there.
He didn't pick the car at all, okay.
So I went back to my father and I said, this is what happened. I've not seen this guy and this guy is still here. What happened? So my father started narrating the story that he's been duped, that he went to get married and whatever. So I searched for him, I could not see him. The very place he said is his workshop, I went there, I couldn't see him. After 3 days or 4 days, my father called me that he's gotten a new shop that is there. Then I went there with my younger ones to pick him up. So on getting to the spot of the car, I asked him, what happened? Why didn't you pick the car? What happened to the money I gave to you? Then I wouldn't know what he's saying. Besides, what he's saying does not make any sense to me.
So what did he say that did not make sense to you?
That he wants to get married with my money. I don't know what kind of marriage is that. And unfortunately, the marriage didn't work out.
Are you trying to say he got married after you paid the money to him?
The very moment I gave him my money, that's when he wanted to get married.
How do you come to that conclusion? How did
That's what he
told you it was...
Yes, of course. He said after I gave him the money, though he had the plans to marry, then he paid for everything, the marriage could not work out. I said, where's the money I gave to you? He said he used it to buy things for the marriage. I wouldn't know what he's saying. I gave him cash on the 1st of June, 2018.
Okay, Mr. Peter.
Yes, my lord.
What happened?
You give me 660,000.
Wait, did you collect the money from him first?
Yes, my lord.
At the point when you collected the money from him, did you issue a receipt?
No. I collected the money from him. Then after when I collected the money, the job, I don't really start the job save for the motor.
I can't hear you. You have to speak louder.
I say, I don't really start the job, the work for the car. When you can't travel, I can't look for him. Then I can't, the marriage where you're talking about, say, I take the money, get married. Fine. I told him, say, I want to marry. I don't spend the money for the marriage. I don't spend the money for the marriage. My mother, no way. They can't call me. I want to travel. After when I travel, along the line, say, I lost my mother. Therefore, I spend the money. Then after when I come back...
You spend the money on what?
I take my mother to hospital.
Okay, you spend the money, his own money?
For your own money. I don't talk like man.
To treat your mother?
Yeah, to treat my mother.
Not to marry?
I'm not spending the money for the marriage.
Or you spend the money to take care of my mother, sick mom?
Yes, ma'am.
His own money. I want you to explain to me what the money you collected from him was meant for.
I collected...
As at that time?
I collected money for the motor and to buy the gearbox and penta. I go need the engine. Then we test some parameter work. I collect the work, both the parameter, both the penta. And just handle everything. Say, make us take care about the car. If you come back for travel.
From what I can gather, everything that needed to be repaired on the vehicle, you collected the money for it.
Last year, Jean paid Peter, the mechanic, 660,000 naira to repair and pimp his ride, and then traveled, only to come back and meet the car in the same place and in the same condition. Peter says he used the money to treat his sick mother. Jean is having none of it. He doesn't even want a pimped up car anymore. He just wants his money.
At the time you handed the money over to him, did you agree on the time?
Yes, he told me the car was going to be ready in 3 weeks or a month's time.
Okay. Before the expiration of that day, you traveled outside?
Yes, of course.
So you didn't bother to check on him at all until you traveled?
Just because my father introduced him to me, I was free with him.
You collected money, you've told me what the money is meant for. So what happened thereafter? You went to where? You went
for
to...
the money.
They told
for
you...
the money. I travel. I can't take my mother to hospital. For Benin, I take my mother to hospital. Then along the line, I lost my mother.
So you spent 660,000 naira on medical bill?
No, I don't spend audio money for...
How much did you spend out of it?
For the hospital? I spent 200,000.
Can you prove that?
I spent 200,000.
Can you prove that? Do you have anything to prove that this is how much I paid for medical bill? Even though that money is not meant for that purpose. But do you have a proof to that? You can't talk. Where is the 400,000, the balance? The 460,000 naira, sorry. Where is the balance?
Along the line, I lost my mother. Along the line,
I've heard that several times. You lost your mom. You spent 200,000 naira on medical bill, right? You still had, at least, there's still 460,000 naira left with you. So what have you done with the 460,000 naira?
Now, for the expenses when I run, I bet my mother. I know.
Oh, you use the money for the burial of your mom again?
I spend the money for the burial.
Okay.
I spend the money for the burial. Me, I expect maybe you go give me like maybe some months ahead. I feel run. I would tidy the work for them. You know, they let me work. If I did, they come meet me. Tell me say I know if you work. They treat me up and down.
What do you expect? You should come and be pampering you. Has he paid back any amount out of the money?
Not even a dime.
You have not paid? Have you?
No, ma.
You said your mom was ill. What's the nature of her illness?
Ma?
What's the nature of her illness?
My mom?
Yes.
In get belly with another man. As one pound. Now for you.
You now use his money for the burial.
Yeah.
And the medical expense. What happened to the man? The man... Anyway.
Peter the mechanic has spent Jean's money meant for repairs on his car. Jean says he defaulted on the agreement and just needs his money returned, even as Peter claims to have no money at all. How will this case turn out?
It's so sad because you are highly irresponsible and you are just talking casually as if you've done the right thing. No remorse. Do you know the pain you are putting him through? 660,000 naira. That's a lot of money, and you didn't even touch the vehicle at all. It's still at the same spot, you said?
Yes, of course.
So you just collected the money and took off. You should have collected a receipt from him as well. Anytime you pay for any service, ensure you obtain a receipt.
Yeah, but we've done something more than this before. I gave him $1 million plus to go and buy me a vehicle.
You gave him $1 million plus. You trust him, but you see where it has ended.
Does he even have a receipt? I don't know.
If you demand for it, you will get a receipt.
I don't think so.
He will be eager at that time to collect the money you have with you. He will go and he will print receipts.
He can buy a receipt from me.
Yes, let him buy. As long as he gives you a receipt. That's all.
Do you have receipt?
I don't have the receipt for the work. I don't have the receipt for the work.
You collected 600,000 naira. 660,000 naira from him. You did not even move the vehicle from the spot. You disappeared and went after your mom that you claim was ill. You spent, I'm narrating your story. You spent 200,000 naira on medical treatment. I asked for the ailment. You said she was pregnant for another man and she died. That man is still alive. But it's you that decided to pick the medical expense and conduct the burial rites. Because you had what you assume to be free fund, somebody else's money at your disposal. Are you the one that impregnated your mom?
No, man, bro.
So does it make sense to you? Everything is pure baloney. Utter nonsense.
When we return, Judge Funmi gives her ruling.
Judgment for the plaintiff for the sum of 660,000 naira to be paid by the defendants Peter Augustine Odion to Jean Francis Ifeanyi. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Have you been cheated or have a dispute and want justice? Don't take laws into your hands. Log on to www.thejusticecort.com and submit your case or call 0805 9837 472.